Hey, I'm really excited about this episode today. I sit down with my new friend Megan, and we talk all about redefining the way we're looking at time in our work week. Most of us, myself, I'm very guilty of this. We put a lot of things on our calendar every single day, but especially as parents, we are going to have things that come up that are unexpected, even just with the way that we're doing business and we're supporting others and serving. There are things that are going to come up that are unplanned. So we take a look at how to restructure our work week to leave ourselves with white spaces of time instead of feeling like we're always in time debt, feeling like we always need to find more time that we don't have. And it's a really great conversation. She has some really incredible resources and she's an incredible, successful entrepreneur. She has a seven-figure business and is growing constantly with the resources and the support that she gives. That all comes from her corporate background. So, that being said, I am really excited for you to listen in on this and also wanted to share a little invitation with you if you haven't thought about what your winter season is going to look like. I think a lot of us right now are craving some quiet space and a slowdown after the busy holiday season. If you are watching me right now, I have some red sparkly thing on my head and I'm sitting in my daughter's bedroom recording this little tidbit for you because unexpectedly my kids were home pretty much this whole week right before Christmas, with a couple sick things running through and just getting excited and wanting some more time with us, which I have right now the opportunity to be able to have them at home a little bit more this month and this season. So I'm leading into that, but that's also leaving me a little bit of having some unplanned, frantic, less productive weeks than I had planned right now leading up to the end of the year. I know you can probably relate to this because everyone is just feeling like there's a lot we need to do in these last few weeks before the end of the year comes. And the invitation is do something for yourself and do something for your kids over the winter. We have a winter retreat through Wanderwild Family Retreats that we are hosting myself and my incredible team in Hudson Valley, New York, February 14th through the 17th of 2026. And it's just going to be this beautiful winter wonderland. We have two villas spread out across over 50 acres of usually very snowy, picturesque grounds all to ourselves. And we go on beautiful walks. We have a lot of wellness activities that are cutting edge and very innovative and forward thinking for moms and also very much for kids. And we welcome children as a retreat guest just as much as the moms. So I really welcome you to check that out. We have just a few spots left right now. We have, I think, 3 spots left as I'm recording this. So if you want to go grab your spot for that, this is your chance. And we are going to be offering a Boxing Day through New Year's Day, a little discount. I have told our community previously that the earlier you book, the best discount you always get. So you have missed out on some of our previous discounts leading up to this end of the year, but we will still be offering a $200 discount if you book a winter retreat with us from Boxing Day, December 26th through New Year's Day, January 1st. So if you still want to commit and get a little bit of a discount, that's a really beautiful way to really just give yourself some nourishment and some time together and be fully present with one another as we walk through this cozy wintering in season that is ahead of us. All right, enjoy today's episode and have a beautiful holiday season. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Monica Virga Alborno, and this is the Wand Her Wild podcast, a space for modern mothers reclaiming their wild, living with intention, and redefining what it means to feel fulfilled while raising a family. Here we explore mindful motherhood, conscious parenting, feminine rhythms, and the power of self-discovery. Guided by curiosity, we share honest stories, soulful conversations, and actionable steps you can weave into your full, everyday lives. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Wand Her Wild podcast. Today, I am joined with Megan Sumrel, and wow, we are in for a treat. She is a time management expert and the creator of the TOP program who helps overwhelmed women create harmony through planning systems built specifically for how women's brains work. She has over 20 years of corporate process improvement experience, and she teaches women to turn their unrealistic to do lists into realistic, flexible plans that actually work with their lives and not against them. And she's based in North Carolina. She has a 15-year-old daughter who is highly functioning autistic. And I'm so excited to get into this conversation more. And thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I would love to just hear a little bit more about okay, you had this very full corporate life. It was a good
Yes.
corporate life. You
Yes.
really enjoyed that time period. And your daughter was 3. You started a business, and you now are in this position where you're working about 4 hours a day, and you're teaching other women, supporting and serving in this way to allow others to do the same. And I would love to hear a little bit about how did you end up wanting to be passionate in that way and supporting women and showing up?
Yeah, this was not, when I was in third grade and they said, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" This was not it, but I love what I do. So, as you mentioned, I spent over 20 years in corporate. I was in IT and software companies, and spent the last part of my career really going in and we would say take completely chaotic software organizations and create harmony out of their chaos. And I would come in and rebuild all of their systems and processes to produce higher quality software faster, less expensive. Loved my work. Never really thought I would stop doing this work. Got married later in life, and we started a family later in life. And I had this very pivotal day when my daughter's about 2.5 or so. And I guess I was at a point where I didn't even realize that I just kind of had lost my identity in
Mm,
motherhood and work and all that I think so many women do. And I was pushing her on the swings at a park, and the woman next to me, as we're chatting, just randomly asked me, "What do you do for fun?" And I realized I didn't have an answer. Like I couldn't come up with that answer. Not that being at the park wasn't fun, but it's not the same as what do I, Megan, just for me, do for fun. So I'm so thankful that that woman asked because it led me on a journey to kind of take a step back and say, how did my life get from what it used to be 5, 10 years ago to where it was now? And when I went and looked at my calendar, the fact was I was not present anywhere on my calendar. My days were filled in service to the roles that I played between being an employee, being a wife, being a mom, being a daughter, being a sister. Nowhere in my calendar was just Megan anymore. So I kind of realized this is what you do for a living, Megan. You look at really chaotic situations and say, how do we do this better? So I thought,
yeah.
why not take yourself on as a client? So I threw away the Franklin Covey planning system I'd been using for over 20 years and got to work trying to figure this out for myself. Long story short, I was doing a training at a women in tech conference and kind of casually in conversation, women were asking me, they're like, how are you like juggling all the things? Like, would you teach us how you're doing your planning? So that kind of put the little spark in my head of like, could I turn this into a framework that would be repeatable for other women? Like, if I'm going to do this, it's got to be a repeatable framework. So I said, tell you what, I'll work with the 5 of you. We'll see how it goes. I think I can, but I want your honest feedback. And that then catapulted the results they had. The time I had working with them was amazing. And I just knew like this was my passion and my calling because even though I did love my corporate job, I was really struggling with not owning my own time and having a daughter that is on the spectrum needing more of my time, more therapies, more occupational therapies, more space and quietness at home. I knew a traditional corporate 40 to 50-hour work week just wasn't going to work for our family. So that those all those things wrapped up kind of together that led me to step away from corporate and really go all in building this company now, the Pink Bee, where we have served tens of thousands of women in over 15 countries, teaching them this repeatable time management framework specifically for women.
Wow, that's so incredible. Okay, task lists. You're not a fan. Notoriously not a fan.
No,
Would love to
notoriously
hear
not,
love to hear I'm a big fan of task lists.
as
Would love to
are
hear what
most people.
yeah, so why are you so against them and kind of like what's the
Yeah.
alternative?
Yeah. So first, and I know everyone listening is like, okay, this lady's lost her mind. If she's going to tell me I can't have a task list, I'm out of here because how else am I going to remember what I'm doing? So I promise you, I will give you a better alternative. But I think it's important to understand there's kind of three core things that are not serving us when we're operating from this daily task list mode way of living, which is how most people are operating. And even if you look up productivity experts, usually the male productivity experts, even they're telling you to do this. Wake up, do your brain dump, identify your top 3, do those first, then, go about the rest of your day and magically somehow everything else is going to get done. Well, when we're operating in this daily list mode, it's actually keeping us kind of perpetually stuck and overwhelmed for 3 main reasons. So, reason number 1, when you make your list, right? And maybe you've got 13 things on there. Maybe that's a short list for you for the day, right? Because sometimes it's a lot more than that. Rarely does anyone ever sit down and then say, okay, how long does each one of these take? And do the math to even determine if this list is possible for the day or not. Because 99% of the time, it's not, right? You've probably made a list of things that maybe would require 6 hours of your time, but your calendar is showing you you've only got 3 spare hours for the day. So, right out of the gate, you're setting yourself up to feel like a failure at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Because if you don't check everything off, you go to bed feeling behind, right? And then tomorrow you wake up and what do? You rewrite the stuff you didn't get done yesterday on a new list and then add a bunch more stuff to it. So you stay in this cycle of what I call time debt. You're constantly in debt. You never get the list checked. And then as women, we blame ourselves. Instead of if
Mhm.
we just looked at it as a math problem, we would have seen it's not physically possible to do this. So I'm not going to beat myself up by not getting it all done for the day. So, number 1, it's unrealistic and it keeps you perpetually feeling like you failed because it never is getting done. Then the second thing at play is really interesting and it's kind of tied to how our brains work. So, when you've made the whole list, right? When we wake up every single morning, we wake up with a set capacity for really good decision making skills. It's kind of tied to willpower. And all day long as you're making decisions, you're pulling from that part of your brain that makes really good decisions. And when it's done, it's done. Think of it like your gas tank. When it's empty,
Mhm.
you're out, right? The only thing you can do is go refill it. Well, with that decision making skills, really the only way we go refill that is by sleeping, by getting like restorative overnight sleep. So if I were to be in front of you, Monica, with an apple and an orange, 2 things, and said, here, which piece of fruit do you want? It'd be a pretty easy decision for you to make, and it wouldn't pull a lot from your brain. But if I presented to you a platter with like 22 different exotic fruits and said, you only get one, which one do you want? It's going to take you longer. You're going to have to work harder to come up with that decision, right? And so you're going to actually pull more from your brain. Well, when we're operating from a task list, what happens is we make the whole list. And then because the list is long, we feel a little anxious, right? We're like, oh
Mhm.
my goodness. And then what's the very first thing that we need to do? We look at the list and decide, what am I doing first? So you're making a decision. And the more things you have to choose from, the harder your brain has to work to make that choice. So you're going to look at the list, you're going to pick something, you're going to check it off, and then you're going to go back and you're going to look at your list again. And now you're making another decision again against a lot of things. So all day long, as you're looking at your list, every time you're doing that, you're making another decision. And this is why, 5 o'clock rolls around and the family's trying to decide where to go out to eat. And everyone looks to the mom. They're like, where do you want to go? And you're like, oh my gosh, somebody else, please decide,
Yeah.
right? It's because you've hit decision fatigue because you are pulling so much energy all day long, making the decision of what do I do next? So it keeps you at this place of constantly kind of hitting the end of your day where you're just maxed out. This is why at 9 o'clock at night, the sleeve of Oreos just slides down real easy. Whereas at 9 in the morning, you're like, no, I don't need to eat a sleeve of Oreos. Because we still have that good decision making skills.
Yeah.
And then tied to kind of that decision making, the third thing that happens is when we're operating from this task list, we end up getting oftentimes further disconnected from the bigger goals and projects that we're working on. Because when you have that list, let's say there's the 13 or 17 things on it, and you look at it to start your day, you probably are feeling a little anxious. Like, how am I going to get all this done? And what happens is the chemicals in our brain are the same, fire off the same way of fight, flight, or freeze. And so when we're in that state, what our brain does is it says, I need to feel better. And so it's looking for, how do I get a good dopamine hit and feel better right now to calm the anxiety? Well, subconsciously, what it's going to do is it's going to scan that list to say, how can I get the quickest check mark possible? Because that's going to make me feel better. So we scan the list and we pick, okay, what's the easiest thing that I can go knock out to get a check mark? Right. And so we actually work oftentimes in opposite priority mode, because maybe you had a big
Mm.
project. Maybe you were, starting a business and you were building a website, or, starting a podcast. And that was layered in on your list somewhere, like, oh, let me go do research for the podcast. Well, if you're seeing 13 other things, your brain's going to be like, no, that's the hardest. It's going to take the longest to get the check mark. Go do everything else first to feel better. And so at the end of the day, we got a lot of stuff done, but oftentimes not the thing that we would have felt really good about having done, because our brain's just trying to give us as many dopamine hits as we can by getting those check marks.
Yeah.
So while
Yeah.
we're getting stuff done, we're accomplishing things, we're we're always setting ourselves up to not get it done. We're maxing out our decision fatigue, and then we're often just getting farther and farther behind on the bigger projects that we wanted to be spending our time on.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
that
this is
makes
why I tell
sense.
people, yeah, a task list. So if it's not the task list, what's the alternative? And this is where I'm often heard saying a task list is not a plan. So the alternative is, we need to create a plan for, and I teach people weekly, not daily planning, for a very specific reason. But the subtle differences are, a plan gives you specificity around what you're doing, when you're doing it, and for how long. And
Hmm.
so instead of, when I sit down to do my plan for the upcoming week, it includes everything competing for my time, family time, mom life, work, all of it. But I'm layering in with specificity what days, for how long, when. I'm grouping things together to be as efficient as possible. So now, instead of looking at a list every day, when I go and look at my plan, I'm not going, what am I doing next? I'm looking at my plan that's telling me, here's where you're going next, Megan. So it's almost like you've drawn a map for how I'm getting through from Monday to Sunday. And now my job is just to follow the map. And if needed, because life will happen, unexpected things are going to come up. Like today, we just got a text that school's letting out early because the snowstorm's coming. The plan, now that I can see everything, I now figure out, what is that detour going to look like? What do I need to move around to accommodate this change that has landed today? And when you learn a planning framework that supports all of that, it makes your kind of energy levels stay so much more consistent throughout the day. I don't roll into my evenings maxed out anymore like I did for so many years.
Yeah, yeah, I love that that reframe of it, and absolutely have been guilty myself in years past of loading up the to-do list that is just way not, it's never going to
Yeah.
happen, right? And then exactly what you're
Nope.
saying, you finish that day, you're in time debt and you're just trying to regroup the next day. It's taken me a long time to just be more realistic with the amount of time that I have. And I like that you said, actually do some digging, like how much time is this specific task going to take me, and do the math to understand, like, is this something that I can actually do? I end up putting little parentheses next to mine a lot of times with like 30 minutes, 2 hours, and then adding it up and saying, oh, I got to move that to the next day. And it does make you feel a lot better. I still overload it. I
Yeah, because
usually
now you're
always have
setting
something.
yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now you're like, okay, this is, now I see, because a task list is just, here it is. A plan shows you, here's how I'm going to make this happen, and here's what fits, and here's what doesn't. And I know,
Hmm.
you do so much important work on helping people slow down, not be so busy, be intentional. And when we shift to creating a weekly plan that's including everything in our life, just not just the stuff that lives on the task list, right? Because
Yeah.
you're not putting on your task list, sit down and play a game with my kid for an hour and a half, right? Those
Mhm.
aren't the things that show up on there. But in the way that I guide women through, we learn a 5-step weekly planning process, then it evolves into a 10-step process. And guys, I do this in 15 minutes or less every week. All right. So this isn't something that you're going to spend 10 hours creating.
Yeah.
It is integrating all parts of your life, all the roles that you play, where you want your time to be, and the stuff that would live traditionally on a task list. So it's marrying time for you, time for rest, time for the task list, time for the realities of your life, whether it's working, a corporate job, whether it's being an entrepreneur, whether it's full-time home with kids, maybe you're homeschooling, right? Everybody has different inputs, but the systematic way that we can approach planning as women supports this idea of we've got to have a tool that shows us everything that we are juggling. And then how do I build a plan that creates efficiencies, but also prioritizes rest and enjoyment and time to pause and breathe and sleep and all of that as well.
Yeah. It's a holistic approach to managing your days and your
Yeah, and it
weeks.
has to be, yeah, because as women, we don't have, I'm not even going to say it's a luxury. I'm not sure I would want it. But we don't have the reality of compartmentalizing our lives because our brains are different the way often that our male counterparts can. I knew all morning, I'm like, there's a good chance that school's going to be out early. How are we going to, I'm looking at my plan. How are we going
Mhm.
to adjust this? Because the female brain has the center of emotion in our brain is larger than the male's brain is for that center. There's a reason why we carry the mental load. There's a reason why we have a ticker tape going through our head all the time about our kids, about our parents, about our sisters. Our brains are functionally different. And so we need to have a planning system that understands that and supports it instead of just saying, oh, well, just go to work and think about only work for the next 8 hours and shut off the rest of your life. I can't. It would be
Mhm.
physically impossible. Whereas my husband, who's a great dad and a very present part in our family, goes to his office and the whole rest of the world is shut out. So it's just we are fundamentally wired differently. And so to think that we could plan and manage our lives the same way is crazy because he can plan very differently than I can because of those differences.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to touch on uncertainty because you started bringing that up. So
Yes.
we're working with this holistic approach to our time and our week, but something comes up. Like today, you had a snow day, but maybe it's
Yes.
something else even bigger and more unexpected. How do you face something like that, like with yourself and also with the people that you work with?
Yeah, so there's a tool that I call planning for uncertainty. And this is why I think so many women I meet are like, I've just given up on planning. Why bother? Because stuff's popping up all day, every day. That if I build a plan by 10 a.m., it's going to go haywire because I logged in and an email came through and now my boss needs me to shift and do this other thing. Or I woke up and a kid is sick and now they're going to be like, whatever it is, right? Whether it's work, personal, whatever. And it looks different for everybody. So I encourage people to actually figure out what I call uncertainty budget is. And here's what I mean by that. So I tell people do it for 2 weeks. 1 week, usually you don't get a good enough number. But I have you just actually grab a notebook or use the notes app on your phone or whatever. And as you are going about your life every day, make a note of anything that came up that you had to stop and handle that you did that was unexpected. It's out of the ordinary. You could not have planned for it. And then jot down how much time it was. And if you're working outside the home, I usually tell people do both categories work stuff, because your work, if you have set work hours, you want to handle your work life in your working hours, and then your personal. So this could be anything from, all of a sudden a report gets handed over to you that you've got to get done in 2 days, or the school project that now you're making the trip to the craft store and staying up late to glue noodles to a piece of cardboard or whatever that's going to look like.
Mhm.
And track this over the course of 2 weeks. And you can do one, but I like 2 weeks better. And our ultimate goal is to try and determine on average how much of your time each week is being spent on things you never could have planned for because you didn't even know that they existed at the start of the week. And this number will look dramatically different for different people, and it will even change over the course of your own life.
Yeah.
So, years ago when my daughter was younger, I was beginning to realize I have almost 2 hours every day going to stuff I never could have accounted for.
Mhm.
Whereas now it's not so much a daily budget. Like I'll have days where I don't. So now it's more of okay, in my work life, it's about 4 hours of work tasks every week that are going to come at me that I don't know about. So what this allows me to do when I'm creating my plan for the week is to actually go in and protect that amount of time on my calendar for the week and just block it. So back when it was every day, I would create an appointment at any random time of the day for 2 hours for myself that was just, "Here's my uncertainty time." Kinda think of it as an emergency fund with your money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know it's gonna happen. So what this prevents me from doing is creating a plan for the day, assuming that those 2 hours are not gonna be needed.
Mhm.
So maybe I've protected from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Like, that's when I had an opening, so I just protected it on my calendar so nobody could book an appointment with me. I wasn't planning to do anything during that time. Well, then if things go haywire at 10 AM and what I was going to do at 10 now is not gonna be able to happen, well, now I've got that slot in the afternoon that I can move it, right? So I can say, "Well, I was gonna sit down and record a podcast at 10 o'clock this morning, but now this other emergency has come up that I need to be doing right now. No worries. I'm just gonna move that podcast time to do it at 1 o'clock instead." So we're kind of preserving time on our calendar so that we can move things around and absorb the uncertainties that are waiting for us. And so again, it will look different for different people. Some people need some of that time every day. Some people might just need, hey, it kind of happens at, maybe about 4 hours of the week. And so maybe you block off 2 hours one day and two 1 hour chunks later. So how you implement it is very unique to your own life. But if you are stepping into your plan for the week, acknowledging some things are going to come up and I'm going to need time to handle them, and then protecting that time on your calendar so that when they do land, now it's just a replan game instead of now I'm staying up at 10 o'clock at night to get caught up
Mhm.
because I had to move things around and this is the only time I have left. This is why so many women are staying up too late or getting up at 4 in the morning to play catch up because every week they're creating a plan that's going to assume nothing new is going to land on them that week. And for most of us, that's completely unrealistic to kind of operate that way.
Yeah, yeah, I love that idea of actually calculating the uncertainty that you're facing because, like, I have 2 little kids, a 3 and a
You have a
5-year-old,
lot of
and,
uncertainty.
like, I can miss a whole work week, like, close to the time that I was resigning, I'm like, "I'm missing whole work weeks just with a sick," and it rolls through the house, one sick kid, then the next one, and then all of a sudden, you're,
Mhm.
like, 5 days behind on what you were supposed to do. So, yeah, that would feel so much better to have planned that out a little bit ahead and understand, "Okay, I need to bake in some of this uncertainty
Yeah.
into my
And it's,
week."
it doesn't mean that doesn't mean that then you're going to love when those things happen, right? Like I'm
No.
not like, "Oh, yay." Because people are
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Well, I'm unhappy it happened." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but what it does allow is now it's not a domino effect where now I'm
Right.
working all day Sunday to get caught up from the week," right? So I always tell people, I'm like, "I'm not gonna be able to make you love the things that land on your plate during the week,
Yeah,
but at least we can alleviate the stress of going, now how am I gonna get all this other stuff done?"
right.
When instead we're like, "Well, I'm just not gonna be able to do it at the time that I thought I was, but it's
Mhm.
okay because I see that I can move this thing over here." And so now I'm not carrying the extra burden of stress wondering how I'm gonna get it all done.
Absolutely, and yeah, like, when I'm talking about, like, a whole week with my kids home, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this feeling, the whole time I'm, like, on edge, like, "How am I gonna catch up on all these meetings and all these things I had to move around?" And I can't fully focus on helping my child feel better because you kinda have this in the back of your head, like, "I have all this stuff I'm gonna have to catch up on next week." So, yeah, it really does
Yeah, and then you're
affect.
feeling guilty with both, right? You're
Yeah,
like, "Well, I'm
mhm,
not working the way I wanna work, and I'm not parenting the way I wanna parent," and it's
exactly.
like nobody's winning.
Yep.
And that's like the worst I always think that's the worst feeling possible
Mhm.
is because I mean, I lived this for a long time, first couple years my daughter was born. I felt low grade guilt every time I worked. And then I felt because I just felt like I wasn't being a good enough mom, which is, mom guilt 101. But then when I was taking time off from work to be with her, then I'm feeling guilty about work and coworkers and am I being responsive? And so you just feel like you're playing a game you can't win
Mhm.
when you don't have a structure in place that allows you to go, nope, I'm doing this right now and only this. And I'm able to be fully immersed in it because I'm not feeling guilty or stressed about what I'm not doing right now. And it gets to be both ways. If my daughter, she'll have to come home early from school today, I get to guilt-free tell her I still have 2 more things to do for work, but then when it was done when you were scheduled to be home from school, I am done with work and I'm 100% all in. And so both sides get to be a priority when they need to be guilt-free.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, could you tell us a little bit about what your week looks like right now? And you mentioned someone asked you about what do you do for fun? So could you also share, like, what are you doing for fun every
Yeah,
week?
absolutely. So, right now we're in the school year. We actually have 2 more weeks left, until we go on holiday break. I get up I am a morning person by choice. I have been my whole life, even in college when nobody else was. So I usually get up at around 5:30, and I have a little morning routine that I do. I love playing all the New York Times puzzle games. So there's like 5 games on the app that I wake up and have my cup of coffee with my dogs, and I play my logic games. And then I take them out and exercise them. They're working dogs, and then my daughter gets up at around 7, and so from 7 to 8 is kinda all hands on deck between dog care, lunches, breakfast. My husband comes down, packs the lunch every morning, all that, and then she goes to a school pretty far away, so it's a little over an hour round trip for both
Wow.
drop off and pick up. So I am starting my workday at about 9 in the morning, and then my official workday ends at 2:30, which, looks like I'm 5.5 hours, but I don't work for 5.5 hours. So I take a mid-morning break every day to go walk my dogs a second time for about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. It just gets me out, gets me a break, gets me in nature. And I recently, a couple years ago, started taking cello lessons. It's something I've always wanted to learn. So I take a lunch break every day for a half an hour where I don't work when I have lunch. And then I also practice my cello for 30 minutes every day. So even in that 5.5 quote work window, an hour and a half of that time is going to getting a little exercise in, practicing my cello, taking a lunch break. So I really work about 4 hours a day and then I'm off for school pickup, which is another little over round trip. And then it's really full mom family life. For me to pretend that when we come home from school that I'm going to get anything done is completely unrealistic. My life has proven that to me. There will be the mom, I've got a school project. Mom, I need help with homework, or just mom, I've had a day, can we please just sit and be together or whatever it is, or a dog's going to vomit. I mean, just something's going to happen. So for me to pretend like I'm going to get anything meaningful done between like 4 o'clock and the dinner hour is unrealistic. And then evenings are just family time for us. And weekends are pretty much family time as well. So we've built a pretty I'm really proud of the business that we've built here at the Pink Bee. We generate over 7 figures in revenue year over year. With again, it's just myself and 3 other working moms, and we all work part-time, but we all follow the planning system that we teach. So we love to be able to illustrate for others, like, yes, you can have a harmonious life that includes your family, your passions, things for fun for yourself. I also started taking up crocheting again recently. So I do a lot of that as well on the weekends and evenings. So other people might look at it and go, that looks kind of boring. And to me, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I'm also in my 50s. So I'm like, I don't have it. Like I did the grind in my 20s. I don't have it in me anymore. I don't want to. I don't think I could anymore. And so I really love that I get to be fully present with kind of the different stages of my day. And then during the summer, I work even less. So I typically reduce my hours all the way down to only about 15-ish during the summer. I'll usually pick 2 days a week where I'm kind of working till about noon. And the other 3 days of the week, I only work till about 10 a.m. So that I'm on for summertime fun.
That's amazing. No, I don't hear boring at all. I hear very, like, you're being very intentional and you're doing exactly what you wanna do. You're fitting in those moments
Yeah.
for your own personal fun and family time, and, I mean, it's a dream for most people to work 4 hours a day, right? I mean, that's why people are flocking to your system and wanna and learn the way that you're doing things, and your team is also doing the system you've created, so that's so cool.
Yeah, and I think it's important to share with that. It might mean we move slower, right?
Mhm.
When we were starting this business, I was in groups of other business owners, and I saw they moved a lot faster than I did early on. They hit certain benchmarks quicker than I did. But what's interesting now is, here we are over 5 years later. A lot of them have shut their businesses down, not because they weren't successful, but because they were burnout. They built something that was unsustainable. And so, even personal goals that I work on, I might move slower than other people with them because of how I structure my time. But I'm never in a position where I'm having to recover for months on end because I burnt myself out. So success might look a little slower than, people that aren't living this way. But for me, it's all about sustainability,
Mhm.
and building something that I get to continue to love year after year.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Okay, your daughter is 15,
Yes,
and, teens have a lot on their plates. The way
they
that
do. They do.
time that we're looking at time and, the pressure that we have on teens at this point when they're preparing for university and what they're going to study and just the amount of schoolwork that they have. What pieces of advice do you give your daughter as a teenager and related to the
I
way
love
she
this
looks at
question because,
time? Yeah.
yeah, I give a lot of advice, but I'm her mom, so she's not going to listen to any of it, right? But I love it because I see what she does, and I can see that she has listened and learned things without giving me the gratification of telling me that she learned it from me.
Okay.
Um, so with her, it's very unique because she actually puts, I think we're in a very unusual place, maybe than not all families experience. She puts a lot of pressure on herself
Mhm,
with studies and schoolwork and all of that. So I feel like my main role with her is helping her learn how to relax and learning, like, if she's, it's one thing to be like, oh, here's a homework assignment, do it tonight, do tomorrow. But I think our biggest area of focus and what we're really working on is when those longer assignments, right? A term paper that you have 8 weeks to work on, watching her absorb the anxiety of that, thinking, I have to do it all now,
mhm.
going, "No, you actually do get to slowly work at it." That's been, I think, our biggest area of focus and learning this year is not letting unfinished projects create unnecessary anxiety when you see the path of how you're getting there. So she has a giant wall calendar up in her room where I will see her starting to go, okay, it's due in 5 weeks, and she's breaking it down and putting little milestones in for I want the outline done by this day. I want to have my intro chapter done here so that when it's Saturday, we can be like, nobody's working today. Like none of us are working. We're enjoying a day together. And I see this as I mean, it's a lifelong skill. This is probably one of the biggest questions that I get from women I work with too is how do I take this big thing and break it down into a
Mhm.
realistic plan that allows me to work on it and then not be stressing about it when I'm not working on it. And so I think that's been what I've been watching her spend a lot of hearing what I'm saying and then quietly going off and implementing it without
I
giving me the
love
pleasure of
that.
going, I learned this from you, mom. So,
Yeah, she's just learning from watching you and how you're walking through your week and your
mhm.
world. That's so cool.
Yeah. And I think my hope is that she is seeing me not kill myself and run
Mhm.
myself ragged so that she can see that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. All right, so tell us about the Pink Bee app, which is free to download. Can you tell us a little bit about
Yes.
what you get there?
Yeah, so there's an app in Google Play and App Store. It's called the Pink Bee, all one word. And I've got in there, once you sign up, there's two free mini training courses in there. So one is just kind of full of a bunch of some of our better training content. And then another one actually introduces you to what this planning framework is. So I break down what is the whole top framework for you, because it stands for time management, organization, and productivity, and it starts to give you some little things that you can start to implement right away with how you're planning your time. So again, totally free to download, and then instant free access to both of those resources as well. And then I do a little free training every week in the app that's called the Weekly Buzz. There's a place in the app where people can submit questions to me. So every Wednesday, I come on and answer a different question. So it's kind of a little free rotating training that pops up every week as well.
That's amazing. That sounds so amazing. All right. Well, Megan, thank you so much for being here. We're going to have the links for them, everyone listening, to connect with you. And it's just really been a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.